Hi, welcome to Raga Made. I am your host YJ Arun House. Today, in this chapter 1, part E episode, we are going to address the 6 note scale called Shadava scales, or in English, it's called the hexatonic scales. This means it will have only 6 notes in the whole scale in both ascending and descending. Let's take one heptatonic scale out of the 72 heptatonic scales or Sampurna Ragas. For ease, we'll stick to Shankar Shankar, aka the major scale. You know the notation for Shankar Shankar is Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa, all in capital letters. The alphabets are S, R, G, M, P, D, N, and then S with an apostrophe. If we remove one note at a time, without ever removing the root sa, you will notice that you will get 6 varieties of scales. They are sarigama padhasa, sarigama panisa, sarigama dhanisa. That is, in the first one we remove the ni, second one we remove the dha, and the third one we remove the pa. So the first tetrachord has all the notes in Shankar, and the second one has Shankar minus one note. So we can write the first one as Shankar Shankar minus 7, second one Shankar Shankar minus 6, third one Shankar Shankar minus 5. The next set of 3 will have one less in the first tetrachord, while the second tetrachord will have all the 4 notes. So we can name them as Shankar Shankar minus 4, Shankar Shankar minus 3, Shankar Shankar minus 2. As we learn the math for permutation combinations, like when we learn the pentatonic scale, we know that in hexatonic scales, there will be 6 into 6, 36 combinations. And those 36 are only in just one of the 72 heptatonic scales. So if we do the same procedure with all 72 heptatonic scales, we will get 36 into 72 heptatonic scales. That gives us 2592 different hexatonic scales. I'm not claiming that all these 2592 scales have been experimented with. No, but there is always a possibility of letting your imagination loose and come with creative ways to include any of these scales. Now there is another set of scales that is Sampurna Shadava, which means in the ascending, it will be heptatonic, and in the descending, it will be hexatonic. There will be 6 such varieties in one Melakarta Raga, that is one heptatonic scale or wholesome scale among the 72 we already saw. So, if we apply this to all the 72 heptatonic scales, we will get 72 into 6, 432 different scales. Similarly, there can be 6 note scale in ascending and in descending, the 7 note scale, that is hexatonic in ascending and heptatonic in descending, the reverse of what we already said. This also can give you 6 varieties, and the 72 wholesome scales will give you again another 432 distinct scales. If we use the same principle for heptatonic and pentatonic combinations, heptatonic pentatonic combination will give you 15 varieties, and pentatonic heptatonic combination will give you another 15. So we will get, for 72 scales, we will get 1080 plus another 1080 for both varieties. Now we can have the 6 note variety in ascending and 5 note in descending, and vice versa. So that is hexatonic in ascending and pentatonic in descending. If we write out everything, we can get 90 different varieties of this. It is called Shadava Audava. And the inverse will be Audava Shadava, that is 5 noted pentatonic in ascending and 6 noted hexatonic in descending. This will also give another 90 different varieties of scales. And if we multiply this for all the 72 wholesome scales, we'll get 6,480 plus another 6,480 different scales in total. Now, if we add up all those numbers together, we will get 34,842 different raga scales that we can work with, according to the Carnatic theory so far available from books. As I said, only about 2,000 scales are explored so far, and the rest is open for exploration. Musically, I mean, using your creative ideas for melodies. By the way, this is not the end of it. As I'll tell you in the end of this video, you can make lot more varieties, over 100,000 if you want using these principles. Now let's see how we can notate and name the hexatonic scales. We already saw heptatonic and pentatonic scales, how they are named and notated. It is using the same principle. Let's take three examples from Western music scales. One is whole tone scale, one is blues scales, and another one is the third one is augmented scale. The whole tone scale is C, D, E, F sharp, then A flat, B, and C. The alphanumeric notation for this will be capital C, capital D, capital E, small f for the tritone, small a for the minus sixth, small b for the minus seventh, and C with an apostrophe if you want for the octave C. And in Sargam notation, it will be sa, re, ga, mi, dhe, ne, sa. Because there is mi or the tritone, we know that the name has to start with T. So it will be T Shankar because C, D, E are all capital or major tones, and because A, B are all small or minor tones, it will be toddy. The note missing is the fifth, so the name is T Shankar toddy minus 5. Now let's name the blues scale in Western music. As you know, the notes for the blues scales are C minor third, that is small e, perfect fourth, that is capital F, then tritone, that is small f, then perfect fifth, that is G, then minor seventh, that is B, and then C again. If there is a tritone in the scale, always start with T. That is safer and more, decipherable. So because this has a minus third in the first tetrachord, we can call it a minor. Oh, no, sorry, T minor. And the second tetrachord also has a minor 7. So again, we can call it a minor. So the name can be T minor minor, and the notes missing are second and sixth, plus an added note fourth. So the full name is T minor minor minus 26 plus 4. Now you see how convenient it is to know the notes of any scale if you have memorized the naming system and the notations associated with it already. Now let's look at the Western scale called augmented scale. The alphanumerical notations are capital C, small e, capital G, A, then small a, capital B, and capital C. This can be named Shankar Maya minus 24 plus 3 to add the extra chromatic note. Now that you may be well versed with how to name and find the notations of any scale, I'll give the names and notations of two modes in Western music that I left out in the earlier parts. That is the Locrian mode and the melodic minor scale. You can try and pause the video and write it yourself and see if it comes out right. And now I'll let you know what it is. T toddy minus 5 plus 4. Yes, that is right. It is missing the perfect fifth and it has an additional perfect fourth in it. Remember to write the additional notes with a plus 4 in the end. After writing, whatever note is missing, the number of the note missing first. Now let's look at the melodic minor. Now, you know very well that melodic minor has a set of notes in the ascending and a different set of notes in the descending. This is the only scale with this feature that I've come across in Western music. If there are any other scales like this where the ascending and the descending notes are different, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, the naming of this is going to open another Pandora's box. I'll give you the name first and see if you can figure out the notes from this. If you already know the scale, then I know you can certainly figure it out. So the name will be Maina Shankar Toddy Maina. So right away you see that it has to have four parts to it. That is, the first two names will be ascending tetrachords, and the next two names will be the descending tetrachords. In descending, the second tetrachord will be written, and then after that only the first tetrachord will be written as the last portion. I hope you figured out the notes already. If not, they are these. I'll only give the Sargam notes. The alphanumeric notes, you can write it yourself. So the ascending notes will be sa, ri, ge, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. And the descending notes will be sa, ne, dhe, pa, ma, ge, ri, sa. Somehow, in Carnatic theory books, this type of scales has not been explored for heptatonic scales. As we saw earlier, the ascending and descending being different notes has been addressed in Carnatic music theory books for heptatonic, hexatonic combinations and heptatonic, pentatonic combination, and even hexatonic, pentatonic combinations. I don't know why they left out the ascending and descending being different for all heptatonic scales. Maybe it is there, or I have failed to see it. If it is there in any theory books, and if you are a Carnatic musicologist, please let me know in the comments. So that possibility gives us another 72 into 72 possibilities of different scales. That is, say if the ascent is Shankar Shankar and the descending is Maina Maina, that is Dorian Dorian, like that you can make 72 other combinations, right? And the formula for that is 72 into 72, which gives us 5,184 different combinations for heptatonic scales itself. I too came upon this idea only after seeing the melodic minor scale and realized that, oh, this is also a possibility. So sky is the limit for making your own scales. Then how to remember all this? That is why I think the YJ's naming system that I gave, that is just four names: Toddy, Maya, Mina, and Shankar, just four names, plus Angie and Natai, which are 1 and 6, which I'll let you know later. So these six names and its notations is going to make life easier for musicians to communicate with each other. If you sat through this video till now, that means you liked it or you're interested in it. So then please subscribe and share it with your like-minded friends. And if you like the video, then that will also help promote this channel. Thank you for watching. Happy learning. Bye.